Hey everyone, I'm Liesel and this is Langmaster Learning System. Today's video is part 2 of useful expressions when giving a presentation. We'll start off in part 2 by looking at giving explanations and examples. There are 2 reasons for this. First, one reason for this is another reason for this is what I mean to say is. For example, a good example of this is, to give you an example, to illustrate this point, as an illustration. If you take a look at this graph, you will see that. Please look at this graph, which shows, as you can see from this diagram, the next slide shows. Let's take a look at this graph. I'd like to draw your attention to this diagram. I'd like to illustrate this point by showing you a graph. This graph shows, as you can see, based on our findings, according to our study, our data shows Now let's take a look at summarizing and concluding the presentation. In conclusion, I'd like to conclude by saying, before I finish, I'd like to say, let me sum up our presentation. Let me just run over the key points again. I'd like to go over the main points of our presentation. I'd like to briefly summarize the main issues. In conclusion, let me sum up my main points. Weighing the pros and cons, I have come to the conclusion that I'd like to end by emphasizing the main points. I'd like to end with a summary of the main points. I've covered the points that I needed to present today. That concludes my talk for today. Now some expressions for ending your presentation. That's it from me. That ends my talk. That's all I want to say for now. That brings me to the end of my presentation. I've covered all the points that I needed to present today. That concludes my talk for today. That completes my presentation. That covers all I wanted to say today. Now for thanking the audience. Thank you for your attention. Thank you all for listening. Many thanks for coming. I'd like to thank you for taking your time to listen to our presentation. And now for introducing the discussion. I am happy to answer any questions you might have. Please feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions. I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have. Are there any questions? I would welcome any comments or suggestions. I am happy to answer your questions now. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Now, we have 15 minutes for discussion. I'd be very interested to hear your comments. And that's it for part 2 of useful expressions in a presentation. If you want more useful expressions, useful vocabulary, or useful English learning tips, then like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And keep practicing. Remember, speaking slowly but correctly is far more important than trying to speak too quickly and missing important things like linking sounds and ending sounds. For now, leave your phone number and your email address in the comment box below so that we can get back to you with some great English communication solutions. Oh yeah! Okay, I'm going to say goodbye. That's it from me, Liesl, and Langmaster Learning System. Bye-bye!